Hello, my name is Khatun. I am an ancient, accursed spirit that haunts the depths of the Grand Canyon. My sisters and I were once worshipped as desert goddesses by the native tribes, but as the centuries passed, our names were forgotten and our shrines crumbled to dust. Now we linger on as vengeful wraiths, seeking to lure lost souls into the maze-like chasms and claim them for our own. The humans come to this place in droves, marveling at the painted cliffs and dizzying drop-offs, heedless of the hungry eyes watching them from the shadows. They snap their photos and chatter excitedly, never suspecting the danger that lurks just out of sight. But my sharp gaze misses nothing. I note the stragglers, the curious wanderers who stray too far from the established trails. Those are the ones I mark as my prey. When dusk falls and the touristy crowds disperse back to their campsites and lodges, I drift silently through the scrubby pinyon pines and junipers, an insubstantial wisp of fog. My bare feet leave no imprint on the rocky soil, and not even the coyotes catch my scent as I pass. I am a thing of shadow and spite, forgotten by all but the most ancient gods. As the moon rises over the serrated canyon ridges, bathing the stripped rock layers in its eerie silver glow, I sense my victim drawing near a foolish young man hiking alone in the darkness, miles from the nearest ranger station. The warm coppery tang of his blood calls out to me. I can already taste his sweet marrow between my teeth as I harvest his bones to add to my terrible shrine deep in the bowels of the canyon. Slipping up behind him on the narrow trail, I let my form shimmer and shift, taking on the appearance of an alluring young woman clad, all in white, a tempting vision to a man lost and alone in the night. "Hello there," I call out, my voice dripping with false sweetness. "Are you lost?" These old trails can be so confusing in the dark. The hiker startles and stumbles back, his headlamp flashing wildly in the gloom. When he catches sight of me, relief floods his face. "Oh man, you scared me," he exclaims with a shaky laugh. Yeah, I think I might be a bit turned around. You know the way back to the South Rim Lodge." I flash him a winsome smile, letting my form flicker for just an instant, a glimpse of something ancient and terrible beneath my borrowed flesh. The man blinks and rubs his eyes, no doubt dismissing it as a desert mirage. They always do. Of course I know a shortcut. I lie, beckoning for him to follow me off the main path. It's this way, not much farther. Like a lamb to the slaughter, the foolish human follows me into the darkness between the looming rock walls. At first he attempts to engage me in friendly conversation as we walk, seemingly unperturbed by the way the temperature drops and the eerie noises echoing from deep within the limestone. Perhaps he thinks me a kindred spirit, another solo adventurer exploring the canyon's hidden secrets. How little he understands. As we venture deeper into the labyrinthine chasms, the walls pressing ever closer around us, I begin to weave a tale to lull my prey into a false sense of security. "They say these canyons hold many secrets," I murmur, my voice barely audible over the skittering of unseen creatures in the shadows. "Ancient peoples once lived here, carving their homes into the very rock itself. They worship strange gods and practice dark rituals under the light of the moon." The hiker listens intently, his eyes wide in the bobbing circle of his headlamp. "Really?" I had no idea. "What kind of rituals?" he asks, his voice tinged with morbid curiosity. I hide a sharp smile, pleased by his unwitting participation in my game. "Oh, the usual sort for ancient desert cults. Blood sacrifices, mystical dances, the occasional human offering to appease their vengeful deities. They say the spirits of those unfortunate victims still linger in this canyon, forever trapped between worlds." A shiver runs through the man's body, and he glances nervously at the encroaching darkness. That's just a legend though, right? I mean, there's no such thing as vengeful spirits or human sacrifices anymore. Of course, I lie smoothly. The true danger in this canyon is getting lost or falling from the cliffs. Stick with me, and you'll be safe. We walk on in silence for a time. The only sound, the crunch of gravel beneath our feet and the distant keening of the wind. The air grows colder, and the hiker huddles into his thin jacket, his breath puffing out in desperate plumes. He doesn't seem to notice that my own breath leaves no vapor trail in the chill night air. As we round a narrow switchback, the trail abruptly ends at a sheer rock wall, the path fading into a faint game trail that disappears into a crack in the stone. The hiker pauses, confusion and unease playing across his face. "Hey," Are you sure this is the right way? It doesn't look like any shortcut I've ever seen. I turned to face him, letting the mask of humanity slip away to reveal my true form, a gaunt, skeletal wraith with ember-bright eyes and a maw full of needle-sharp teeth. The man recoils in horror, a scream building in his throat, but I am faster. My clawed hand lashes out, seizing him by the neck and cutting off his cry before it can begin. Foolish mortal, I hiss, my voice echoing oddly in the confined space. Did you really think you could wander so far from the beaten path without consequence? This is my domain, and all who enter it unprepared are forfeit to me. I drag the struggling hiker into the narrow fissure, his feet scrabbling uselessly against the rough stone. The crack opens into a small, dank cave, lit by an eerie phosphorescent glow emanating from the slimy walls. In the center of the chamber stands my altar, a grotesque mound of human bones, yellowed with age and arranged in intricate spiral patterns. I hurl the weeping man at the base of the altar, watching with detached interest as he scrabbles backwards until he fetches up against the far wall. Please, he begs, his voice cracking with terror. Don't hurt me. I'll do anything, I swear. Just let me go, let you go, I laugh, the sound like the cracking of ancient ice. Oh, my sweet lost lamb, you misunderstand the nature of your predicament. You're not going anywhere, at least not in this lifetime. With a thought, I summon my sisters to me, a trio of witches every bit as ancient and terrible as myself. They melt out of the shadows, their tattered robes whispering against the damp stone. The hiker whimpers and tries to make himself smaller against the wall, as if that could save him now. As one, my sisters and I begin to chant in a language long dead, our voices rising and falling in an eerie cadence. The air in the cave thickens, growing heavy with dark power. Slowly, inexorably, the hiker's body begins to twist and contort, his bones snapping and rearranging themselves into impossible new configurations. He screams, a high, agonized sound that goes on, spiraling up into a register beyond human hearing. Dark blood weeps from his eyes, his nose, his gasping mouth. And still my sisters and I chant on, weaving our ancient magic, reshaping the mortal clay into a form more pleasing to our dark gods. When the ritual is complete, a new creature kneels before us on the befouled altar, a twisted thing of shadow and spite, its eyes burning with the same embers that light my own. A cruel smile splits my gaunt face. Rise, my child, I command. Rise and join your new family. Together we will feast on mortal terror for 1,000 years. The creature that was once a man staggers to its malformed feet, swaying slightly as it finds its balance. Its lipless mouth splits in a grotesque parody of a grin, revealing rows of jagged teeth. Thank you, mother, it grates out, its voice like the grinding of ancient gears. I hunger for the fear of the living. I long to taste their sweet despair. And so you shall, my child, I promise, laying a skeletal hand on its shoulder. The night is long, and the foolish mortals are plentiful. Let us hunt together under the merciless desert stars. And so we venture forth from our hidden lair, my sisters and our new companion, ready to stalk the twisting trails and lure fresh prey to their doom. The Grand Canyon is a vast place, after all, and there are always more lost souls looking to tempt the fates. For I am Khatun, forgotten goddess of the desert wastes, and I will never stop feeding the hunger that consumes me. Let the mortals come to marvel at this ancient place in the end. They are all just meat for the altar, playthings to torment as I please. And I am very, very hungry indeed. So if you should find yourself wandering these painted chasms in the lonely dark, beware the strange woman in white who offers to guide you. Turn back and keep to the well-marked trails, for if you follow me into the shadows, you will never again feel the sun on your face or the wind in your hair. You will be mine, forever and always, a scrap of terror to feed my endless hunger. You have been warned.